Hello everybody and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Thursday, June 28th, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And my name is Oroku Saki.
Is that the Shredder's actual name?
Yes.
Nice, awesome. Please remember, everybody, that you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet, picking up some merchandise, and the link that it should be in your description or show notes below. And please also remember that we are holding an Ask Us anything at all that you would like to ask me or Mr. Shredder over there. We will be answering those questions on episode 500. Oh, Mr. Shredder's your father?
Yes, just call me Shredder.
Okay, the Shredder. We'll be answering those questions on episode 500, so please get those submitted to us as soon as you can, in any way that you can. We do have lots of access to you: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all of which are at iReaditCast. We have a subreddit, which is iReaditCast. We have an email, which is iReadit@Mjolnir.media. I'm at Schwahn Michael on social media. He's at Bimmenstein. Get those questions to us any and every which way that you can. So, Shredder, how are you today?
It's been very up and down.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning and my cat had jumped on my glasses, popping out both of its lenses.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought your cat's lenses popped out. And
yeah, he's got a prescription. His eyesight's about 420.
Perfect.
So he popped out both my lenses, and then I wasn't feeling very well. I had this giant pressure. I still have this giant pressure in my chest, and it really hurts. So I think I'm coming down with well, not coming down, but I think I have started developing what the fuck is it called? Acid reflux, because it runs in my family.
I actually currently it wasn't acid reflux, but it's a similar thing. It's called GERD, and I actually was GERD. I was diagnosed with that just recently and have a prescription for it now. Gastroesophageal reflux disease.
Fun.
So not quite acid reflux, or maybe they are the same thing. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Either way, it was not feeling well, and then I got called into work anyways because the pregnant girl is basically having her kid today.
Damn.
So, but I got there, and it was kind of shitty, but at the same time, they had gotten a bunch of moose's tooth, so it was kind of cool.
Cool?
Very ups and downs.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So we did not have a show yesterday, and the reason for that is, for my job, I had to drive 3 hours to another city to give a training presentation to some upcoming candidates, and then I had to drive 3 hours back, and so that devoured a large portion of my day, so we did not have a show on Wednesday, June 27th. We have one today. In terms of how I'm doing good. I left work at 2 o'clock today because I had to make up the hours that I gained in extra from yesterday, so I did some laundry, took some donation stuff to the Value Village and some other stuff and some books to Tidal Wave. Rewarded myself with Arby's because the friggin' pecan chicken salad sandwich is way too good. It's so tasty. They put apples and grapes and pecans in a sandwich with chicken.
I haven't had Arby's since my friend who worked there had died.
Oh, that's a fair reason not to want to go to Arby's.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Well,
I used to get it for free. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be paying for Arby's anytime soon.
Yeah, no. Just hop over the counter. What? My dead friend used to work here, okay?
That was insensitive, and I almost have done it once or twice. There's this, whenever we would go through the drive-thru, and he would start verbally assaulting his manager, and his manager would laugh and give him some food. So I kind of wanted to drive through the drive-thru and start verbally assaulting the manager and be like, you know why.
Is he still there? Do you know if the same manager's there?
Yeah, she is, I think.
Okay. So, the other thing...
Ice Cream Man! Aw, oh, damn it.
Too bad, buddy. Too bad. And you probably got paid today, didn't you?
I don't know. I don't think today, but...
I say I got paid today, so your check is either sitting in your mailbox or is going to be there.
So it'll be tomorrow.
To be tomorrow, okay. The other thing that I cared about, not necessarily cared about, there's something else that I cared about that we're going to talk at the end of the show. So I have a problem with gotcha games. The mobile phone gotcha games. If it's a good one, I get way too absorbed in it. It's bad. And the one that I've even talked about this one recently, it's a Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon anime. It's the video game for it on your phone. It's so friggin' good. It's really good. And a bunch of gotchas dropped today, and I got such good pulls. Oh my god, it's so good. Anyway, nobody cares. It's just so good. Anyway, so... yeah, anywho, you want to talk about news, or you just want to figure out how to take down some turtles?
I already know how to take down the turtles.
Then do it.
I am in the process. See, in my closet over here, I actually have it set up so that a snapping turtle and a fox can get a bunch of like ooze jammed into them. And this time they're not going to be babies. And they're going to actually be Toka and Razor.
Perfect.
However, I also had a warthog come up to me the other day. So I might start employing him and his buddy there. That is like a giant rhinoceros. I think they were like Bebop and Rocksteady or something.
So are you just not wearing your actual glasses right now? Or are they hidden underneath? Okay, they're hidden underneath. Those fit over your glasses quite well, actually.
They're the only shades that I have found that fit over my glasses perfectly like this.
That's both amazing and sad.
I got it from a friend who got it in a loot box.
All right. Acceptable.
Because I got it for free.
For free? Because that makes everything worth it.
That picture that's up there that's crooked that I need to put over there so that everyone can see it.
Yep, exactly.
I was going to replace it once everyone got to that donation thing with a picture of the Green Ranger that I have hanging up on the other side.
Oh, nice. Nice. Or you could just hang the picture of the Green Ranger up and make it crooked.
No, because that one looks apparently like a naked woman.
It does.
That's what I'm going for, you know?
Got it. Okay.
No, it's gotcha.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no kidding. They fucking got me, bitch. Also, on that same note, you said you got it from a loot box. Jennifer actually got me a box, one of those type loot crate type things for Father's Day, except it was Geek Fuel. That was a really damn good box.
A lot of them tend to be like really good. I think box systems are the way of the future.
I've been pretty disappointed with all of the loot crates that I've seen. But the Geek Fuel, maybe it was just that particular box. I don't know. It was pretty sick though.
I don't know. Loot Crate's got some pretty good things. That's where I got a decent amount of shirts. Let's see what else. I got some bobbleheads and stuff from it.
But I also feel like there's a lot of really cheap garbage items that you just kind of go, oh, yeah, that's neat.
You don't keep those garbage items though. You use those items as gifts for younger kids in your family.
Oh, got it. Okay.
5.
AT&T more than doubles its administration fee for every wireless company, which will increase whatever. Just read who it's by.
This is submitted by I Love Anachronisms to Our Technology.
So AT&T moved its administration fee from 74 cents, or I think it was 76 cents, to $1.99. Now, while that doesn't seem like much, AT&T has a shitload of customers, and when you multiply that by their millions of customers, that adds up to roughly $800 million a year.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And $800 million a year.
And when someone asked AT&T about it, they confirmed the existence of the fee increase and said that it is the standard administrative fee that is charged across the industry. At the same time, when you're reporting the vast fucking amounts of profits that you already are, it's not like you needed it. You just did it because you could.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course they needed it. We're in a capitalist society. If you're not the biggest, then you're last.
The thing that actually bothers me about the level of capitalistic society that we're in is that if your company does not show at minimum a 10% increase year after year, it's considered a failure.
Yeah, which is stupid.
It is stupid. And so, but that's why that's what leads to bad practices of people that are just trying to find a way to either cut their costs or increase their revenue stream so they can meet that shareholder goal. And that sucks.
Yeah, no, it really does. They don't take, fucking 5% at face value. It's still quite a bit in large companies.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
4.
Chinese authorities are capping the salaries of celebrities, blaming the entertainment industry for encouraging money worship and distorting social values.
This was submitted by Bran Stark Tree Wizard.
That's pretty excellent.
To Our World News.
It's not necessarily that they're capping their salaries. They are limiting how much they can be paid per movie. And basically what it is only a certain percentage of portions of a movie's budget can be used to pay the top actors and actresses. And it depends on what sanctions are getting put forward. Some of them could be like, you're only allowed to use 75% of your essentially the budget to hire actors and to hire performers, only 75% can go to your top actors, to your top performers. There's another one that they've presented is only 40% of the total budget can go towards the payment of your performers. So it's not necessarily saying you are not allowed to pay them more than $100,000. It's you can't pay them such a gross amount out of your budget.
Okay. So they're just trying to potentially reduce the amount that they earn so that they goes back into the production of
that,
the
and
movie
also
itself?
that and also so that it avoids some tax schemes that have been going through. One of the largest actors that's in China right now has been avoiding taxes because he would have dual contracts. There would be his main primary contract that he would get paid like $1.5 million for. And that would be the contract that is presented to the tax agencies and things like that. And then there would be another, not smaller, but side contract that wouldn't be presented in amounts like $7 million.
Oh, my God.
And so they're referred to as yin and yang contracts. Of yin is the one that goes out for the IRS, and yang is the one that actually just stays with you. And it's a problem. And obviously in a society, I mean, that would even be a problem in America, but in a society like China, that's a really big no-no.
I really don't doubt that it's already happening in America.
Oh, I bet it is.
Based off of, even like the Panama Papers, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many people hoarding their money in places that makes it to where they don't have to pay taxes.
Well, and also, I mean, look at
Because taxes are bad,
Look at the number of shell companies that all exist with their address based at that one fucking address in, where is it, New York, Manhattan, and it's just a little fucking shack that no one lives in.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, I forgot the name of it.
I don't remember
it had
either.
Like a specific name.
It does, but either way. Maybe the mindset and everything changes when you get richer, but man, like everything in my brain's like, just pay your goddamn taxes.
I want to say not, because there's definitely some good rich people.
Sure. Just pay your taxes. Please?
But paying taxes is equivalent to theft.
No, it's not.
3,
Taxation is theft.
Anthony Kennedy retiring from Supreme Court.
This is submitted by ATL Party to our news.
As the liberals cry their sweet tears and the conservatives cheer and hoop and holler. Anthony Kennedy, who has often been referred to as the swing vote in the current Supreme Court, he is retiring after, 43 years as a Supreme Court justice. He is 81 years old. And he said he's done. Now, a lot of people are already calling out conspiracy theories because they're like, oh, he was threatened and that's why he stepped down, or he's probably dying. And he is both the greatest champion and the greatest enemy in the Supreme Court for fucking both sides, because he has been instrumental in so many different decisions that came down to his vote. Two, as an example, are abortion and gay marriage rights. If it wasn't for his votes, those wouldn't have gone through the way that they did. And so
a lot of people are worried that they're going to renege on that shit.
Well, yeah, Roe v. Wade is the one that
Joe v. Wade.
Joe v. Wade. Roe v.
Oh,
Wade.
I love Joe v. I miss you, dude.
Roe v. Wade are the one that most people are concerned about, but there's the other concern is that this gives Donald Trump another chance to appoint another Supreme Court justice. He appointed Gorsuch recently. And, while we just I can kind of see where he's not a terrible dude, he's basically just directly voted along party lines, regardless of how open he was to a lot of different things during his confirmation hearing. And so with another appointment coming from Trump, that basically solidifies, while they're not technically with a party, they do lean one direction or the other, and that'll make it a very solid 5 Republicans to 3 Democrats in terms of how they normally vote, which will allow a lot of things to just not be questions anymore.
Which is unfortunate because they already have the majority pretty much everywhere else, and they're still not getting things really pushed through. I
mean, we'll see what happens because of, people have been calling for the blue midterm for quite some time, and there's a lot of things that are showing that might be what happens in 2018.
So long as you get out and vote.
You do need to get out and vote.
You know what we need to do? We need to make voting an in thing. We need to make voting like hip.
Well, it's not necessarily about making it hip. It's about making it easier. For example, a lot of countries have voting on weekends instead of on Tuesdays.
They also allowed paid leave to do it.
Or you just are granted leave anyway, just flat out voting leave.
We're supposed to have that.
Well, what it is they have to give you a certain amount of time off to go vote, but they don't have to pay you for that time. But you're not allowed to get in trouble, essentially, for not being at work because you went to vote. And that's as far as that goes. Voting online, voting by mail, those are both other things. Now, one of the examples that I liked a lot is, now I understand that forcing people to vote is not a good thing because then you end up getting, that's just calling for trouble. Did you know that Australia has compulsory voting? Technically, you are legally required to vote.
Yes, I did.
Did you know what the penalty is if you do not?
No.
$15.
Do you know what the penalty in Greece is?
I don't know. Beheading?
Mm-mm. You lose the ability to have childcare, essentially.
Oh, okay. But
and I want to say your bank accounts get locked, but that might be in a different place.
Maybe. But in Australia, they have compulsory voting, which means you are legally required to vote. If you don't vote, you get a penalty of $15. And when that was implemented, which $15 isn't that bad. Like I don't. No matter who you are, $15 shouldn't be impossible.
Shouldn't be. Watch. There's going to be a new study. Fucking 25% of Americans don't even have $15.
Fair. But what the result ended up being is their average voter turnout went from 40% to 94%.
Yeah, no one wants to pay money.
Yeah, no one wants to pay $15.
The only thing I worry about is people who go to vote and just click whatever fucking name they see. Like, they don't even do any
People
research.
do that anyway, Nathan.
I know. That's not the point. The point is it's bad practice.
Sure. So, interesting. I don't know. We'll have to just wait.
I really do like the way Australia does it. Let's get 5 candidates together. We're going to whittle them down.
Yeah, I like their system as well of here's 5 candidates, vote, make your votes. Whichever one got the least, we remove. Here's 4 candidates, make your vote.
We like hiring goddamn reality TV show people to be president, so why not just make the fucking presidential race a reality TV show?
I mean, it's basically kind of... It almost already is, so...
Kind of, not really. I mean, like, actual reality TV show. I want them all to live in the same house. I want them to be doing, like, games and quests that may get them kicked out.
Sure.
Give me, oh, fuck, what's the name of it?
Big Brother.
It was real big on MTV.
Big Brother.
Yeah, that one.
You want Big Brother but with candidates?
Yeah.
Sure.
You can just call it, you just leave it as Big Brother.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with the Supreme Court. There's not really any way to know right this moment, but we'll see.
2.
Ivanka Trump had trademarks approved by China on the same day the president lifted sanctions on a Chinese company.
This was submitted by A Muck of Progress to Our World News.
Now, this is another one of those just delightful coincidences. There is no evidence currently that suggests that... Currently, of course. But, I mean, this one is pretty significant in terms of the level of coincidence. Now, normally trademarks are not reviewed in a day or anything like that, but this one just, it lines up way too well, especially considering that Ivanka Trump and her father, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, while they gave up their controlling seats of their companies, they did not divest from their companies. They still own them. And so it does...
I thought they were supposed to.
Oh, they're supposed to. They didn't. And so...
That's breaking the law right there.
He's the president. He can do whatever he wants, remember?
No. That's stupid.
And so they do directly benefit from things like this. And like I'm going to say again, there's no proof of anything right now. It is a very well-timed coincidence. But damn, does that look bad.
It's real bad. Because... a lot of people get the feeling it's not a coincidence, and a lot of people may be right.
And it's hard to prove that it's not a coincidence, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
1.
Puerto Rico introduces bill to become a United States state.
This was submitted by Trump as a Lilliputian to Our Politics.
He is a Lilliputian. Nice. Anyway.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know, but I'm guessing...
I'm going to Google it.
Something about, like... I'm thinking, like, Little Putin. but, a cuter way of saying that.
Trivial or very small. A trivial or very small person or thing. America's banks are no longer look Lilliputian in comparison with Japan's.
He's got little hands. Heard. So Puerto Rico actually does have a member in Congress. They are a non-voting member, but they do have a member that exists in Congress. And while there have been bills inside Puerto Rico itself on if
it's from Gulliver's Travels.
Okay. While there have been bills that have been inside Puerto Rico on do we want to even consider becoming a state, it never actually went into Congress. They have skipped all of that and just went straight into Congress and said we are putting forth a bill that has already been co-sponsored by 30 other congressmen that says we would like to become a state.
Of course they're going to fucking do that. If they're going to do that, then we have to help them.
Exactly, and that's really what it is.
We should already have to help them. And this is just a kind of shitty way of squeezing them into becoming a united state.
Well, and the other part is that, yes, while it will mean that they have to be helped if they become a state, you can't just write them off anymore because a state, of which, I mean, it shouldn't matter anyway. They're literally part of America. They are American citizens. We should help them anyway. But it's much harder to justify saying, what the president has been saying if they are, in fact, a state. And so they're trying to push for that so they can become the 51st state of the United States of America. But even beyond that, they're basically holding a very loaded gun. And what I mean by that is basically if someone opposes this, they are opposing their own American citizens. And they full well intend to call people out that speak against this as people that do not want to help their own American citizens.
Which would be tantamount to, what was that word? Treason.
I don't know if it's necessarily treason, but it does make you look really bad. And I mean,
I don't know. It's kind of like if a hurricane hit Texas and some other states were like, yeah, we're not going to help you.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you are depending on where your congressman stands with this, they are basically saying that you are either with or against Puerto Rico.
Dude, I'm with Puerto Rico. Let's make them a state because that will get them the help they deserve. And while we're at it, let's make Guam a state too if they want to.
What else? What is the other one? The U.S.
The Virgin Islands.
And what are these called? What?
United States territories.
What are the United States territories? Are there any others?
I think it's just those three.
Oh, no, there are more. The United States Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa.
Oh, I forgot about American Samoa.
Yep.
I feel like American Samoa would probably be one of the first ones to become a state.
Man, I'm just surprised at how actually far away that is.
A lot of them are real far. Like Guam is also pretty far away.
Where is Guam? I will admit that I don't actually know.
Pacific Islands?
I'm trying to look it up right now. Oh man, yeah, it's just as far as American Samoa is.
Yeah.
Like it's way over there, basically just directly south of Japan.
Yeah, over getting close to Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very strategical for us.
Right.
Because we used them during World War II.
Oh, the Northern Mariana Islands are right there as well.
Mm-hmm. So we either have it all the way over there, or it's, like, over just south of our border, just south of Florida.
Yeah, and then Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands are right there, basically just east of Cuba. Man, interesting. Yeah. But I really do hope that this does go somewhere, and I strongly encourage you to write your congressman and say that you would like them to support this, because there's no reason not to. Oftentimes, Puerto Rico itself has put forth whether they want to consider it or not, and very often it failed. But they need help, and if this is what gets them the help, I don't care. Make them a state. They should have been a state anyway.
I mean, they should choose to become a state of their own volition when they're ready. And unfortunately, they kind of had to be catapulted into being ready.
Mm-hmm. Although it does make me wonder, and I realize that this is the probably one of the smallest things that matter. What happened? How would we change the flag?
You would have to fit another goddamn star on there. I'm not sure how.
I don't know. It's just an interesting thought to me because of, the flag.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, a lot of our merchandise would then be null and void.
Oh, well. Progress, man. Modernization of the world, right?
Cost of progress.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Nathan, what did you care about in the last 48 hours?
I cared about Joe Jackson dying.
I should know that name. I feel like I know that name. Who's Joe Jackson?
Joe Jackson is the father of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He's also the father of Janet Jackson, LaToya Jackson, etc., etc.
Exactly.
So, he died at the age of 89.
Okay. Healthy, long life?
Fairly long life. He died like 2 or 3 days after the anniversary of Michael Jackson's death.
Okay.
But the big thing is I don't really feel sad that he's dead, because from what I understand, he was awful to Michael growing up.
Probably.
Which is why Michael was so fucked up in some ways.
I was like, you can just say fucked up because it's true.
Yeah. We should remember these folks, but we should also remember the nasty shit that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
We can't sweep that shit under the table. So, yes, Joe Jackson may have been, very important because he put together, the Jackson 5 and essentially gave us Michael Jackson. But at the same time, at what cost? How would Michael have been different if he had led a happier life? If he wasn't forced to do these things? If he wasn't told constantly that he looked ugly because he was getting fat and shit like that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
If he didn't go in for plastic surgery constantly, which was kind of on him because his hair got set on fire. But that's beyond the point. It got to recognize that some of these people who are famous, who are dying, are also scumbags. For instance, Triple X Tentacion.
Yep.
He was a scumbag.
He was trying to better himself, though, at least by my understanding. But I didn't know a whole lot about him, so.
I mean, that's good. I'm happy when people try to change, right? I understand what it's like to be a scumbag and to try and be not a scumbag.
I mean,
right?
Look at how much you've changed and grown on just in the last 2 or so years on this show.
Right. I mean, I don't even say the N-word anymore.
Nope, and you totally did at the beginning.
Yeah, I've said it twice, and I'm going to leave those up because I want people to see the changes that happen. That people do change.
Growth is important.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that Joe Jackson had grown, but it's still something that's pretty fucked up and that we need to remember.
Yeah.
Especially when it happens to kids, because that's one of the most fucked up things. They're so tiny and so impressionable. They are sponges, and when you clog your sponge with dirty water
and then just throw it on the ground,
it is going to be nothing but dirty for the rest of its life.
Mm-hmm. It's real hard to clean that.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I cared about, just thinking about Joe Jackson.
2 things that I cared about in the last 48 hours. One is I would like to send out a congratulations message to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. If you do not know who that is, I would advise looking her up. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She is a 28-year-old woman from New York. Her mother is Puerto Rican. Her dad is from the Bronx. And she just beat out a 10-term congressman in New York.
Wasn't he primed to be the next Speaker of the House too?
Yes, he was. Senate Senate Minority Leader, I believe, is the act to unseat Nancy Pelosi.
Okay.
So
I bet a lot of people want to unseat Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, probably. But so he had been in Congress for 40 years or 29 or some ridiculous amount of time.
Is this because people just click the name that they recognize?
Mm-hmm. And so she unsat Representative Joseph Crowley. Now, it's just in the primary. She still has to make it through the general.
Mr. Crowley.
But the district she's in is so blue that it's basically an automatic victory through the general. If she doesn't win the general, it'll be absolutely insane, even more insane than her beating out Crowley in the primary. But basically,
it's pretty fucking blue. Eiffel 65 is even whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just One, if you were curious, she did assist Bernie Sanders in his campaign. She is registered as a Democratic Socialist. She had a piece of her advertising that went viral, and it was basically saying that she knows she still is poor and grew up in that area, whereas Crowley is a very rich dude that doesn't ever live there, that is just basically taking advantage of the area, and so it's time to elect somebody who actually understands what's going on in the area. And it's...
Did you see Schwahn Hannity presenting her agenda as negative?
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. How do you present that as negative?
If you were curious, so Schwahn Hannity had...
I have the picture pulled up, so I can go through it if you need.
Sure, I just pulled it up as well. So he tried to pass off her platform as a bad thing. Would you like to list off the things that he listed for her platform?
All right, so some of the bad things that you should all think are bad. Medicare for all.
Damn, fuck you all. You don't get medicine.
Housing as a human right.
You don't need no roof.
A federal jobs guarantee.
Fuck you, fuck work, fuck your bunny, stay poor.
Gun control / assault weapons ban.
Kill each other.
Criminal justice reform / end private prisons.
I mean, some of my best friends own prisons. That would just ruin their lives.
Immigration justice / abolish ICE.
Get them peoples out of here.
Solidarity with Puerto Rico.
Who cares about them? That was a year ago.
Mobilizing against climate change.
That's a hoax. That was made by the Chinese.
Clean campaign finance.
Whatever. You can see it all online, right?
Higher education for all.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to take advantage of people if they're educated.
Women's rights.
I mean, whatever. I mean, they get to vote and stuff now. Look, you got elected, so, I mean, what more do you want?
Support LGBTQIA+.
Yeah, we've already been on that train. They can get married and stuff now, right? Whatever.
Support seniors.
But I'm a senior.
And curb Wall Street gambling, restore Glass-Steagall.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I bet.
And if I don't know what it means, it must be bad.
All right, I'm just saying, right? This lady earned so much less than the other guy. The other guy earned like $3 million in campaign finances.
$6.7 million to her $300,000.
$300,000, right?
Yep.
And she all got it from grassroots campaigns. She got it mostly from small donations from people, and it's amazing. And in addition, there is a lady who's supposed to be big on helping new Democrats come into the Democratic Party, and she's supposed to help back them, especially if they're women, and she backed the other guy.
That's because part of her whole campaign, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, I'm going to keep telling you that name so you remember that name, she basically kind of spoke out against the Democratic Party. She goes, not all Democrats are the same. Some Democrats are just as rich and just as corrupt as the next guy. And so...
Just like the Republicans. Not all Republicans are the same. Some of them aren't scumbags.
I agree. And so that's part of her platform, and it worked really well. She won by a lot. Yeah. So that now, while that is not indicative of the elections across the nation, that is still a very strong message in general. And I am sad that she is only 28, because it means, one, that's incredible. That's super young. Power to you. But it also means that she can't run for president until 2024? No, 2028.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. But, I mean, her platform's pretty close to the exact same as Sanders.
Sure.
So you got that going for you.
So, but anyway, very, very large congratulations to you. The other thing that I care about is that a woman resigns as CEO of company after backlash from calling police on a girl selling water.
This was submitted 22 hours ago by SLH2336 to our news.
So we didn't talk about it, but Nathan, did you hear the story?
I thought we did.
Did we talk about Permit Patty?
I want to say we did.
I maybe we mentioned it?
We might have. So but yeah, this crazy lady fucking called the police on a little black girl because she was selling water.
Yep, without a permit.
In California.
She didn't have a permit to sell water, Nathan.
And she was like the CEO of like a marijuana company.
That didn't have permits either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they sacked her ass.
Well, she resigned.
Okay.
And
let's be real. She resigned to the public.
She resigned because almost...
That's just like how I left my last apartment. I didn't technically get evicted.
Nice. Good job, buddy. Well, the company that she worked for and created, which is funny, I'm always conflicted when I see people leave companies they made. Anyway, the local stores in the area refused to carry her product anymore. So,
yeah, understandable, because people don't like that shit.
Yeah, like, screw you. God.
Like, I understand you may be having a bad day, but like, it's a fucking kid.
Well, it's an 8-year-old girl trying to sell water because she wants to go to Disney World. Like, okay, already, if you do anything wrong to that child, you are ridiculous. But what made it even worse, the mother has her on camera. She tries to hide behind a wall so that the mother can't film her. And then when she says, like, the whole world's going to see you, boo, and she goes, yeah, because your child's selling, water without a permit. And then later she tries to backpedal that by going, it wasn't that she didn't have a permit. They were being really loud and trying, yelling about selling the water, and I was tired of them disturbing the peace. And it's like, that's not going to fly at all when the video that you are in straight up says that you are calling the cops because they don't have a permit.
Yeah, no, that is a shit excuse and from a shit individual.
Yep. It sure is. So, good on you. Get out. All right. Anyway, that's it, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. It is Thursday, so we will not be back until Monday. If you want to change that, support us financially at patreon.com/dailyinternet. You can also pick up some t-shirts. Our merchandise link is in the link below. Otherwise, please remember we are holding that Ask Us Anything on episode 500. So please go get your questions submitted to us on any platform you can. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and well as Reddit, all of which are at iRedditCast. You can also send us an email to iReddit@mjolnir.media, myself at Schwahn Michael, and Nathan at Bimmenstein for those social media areas. Otherwise, if you just want to go above and beyond and keep helping the show, please leave us a 5-star review on our audio-only platforms, which are iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And probably anywhere else that podcasts are found. If you find one we're not on, let me know. And that's it, everybody. That is your 490th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Oroku Saki.
And please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.